The only way to individuation is to function in reality. And we have only two realities: society, the man made shared fantasy, or nature. I repeat it without the distraction, without the introject on my head. Yeah, it's just distracting, right? Because we are not here to buy into another narcissistic shared fantasy. No. Individuation is the opposite of that, the only alternative to narcissistic shared fantasy. Individuation means to function in reality. Reality, we have two options: nature or the man made world, a shared fantasy. Let me clarify on my concept. So, we have a problem in society, and that is victimhood. Let's start with nature. In nature, there are guiding principles and rules. So, if you want to function in nature, you can go to the Amazon and find a place in the jungle where no one else is, or you can try to connect to a tribe there, and then you can live there and function if you have these abilities. Or you go to the Yukon and build a blockhouse and you live in the Yukon. You function there. Without mama and daddy, you live there. That's cool. Or you find a combination, which means every now and then you go and buy some supplies and you get medical treatment. This would mean you combine nature and the man-made world, and you can function in both worlds good enough to make sure that you survive. Or you function right here, right now, where you are. It means you are a part of society that is able to function in society and social structures without becoming abusive or being abusive. That's all. You contribute to society. You are bringing more to the table than what you take from the table, so to speak. I need a cup of coffee, a cup of coffee before I come to the victims. I just have another intrusive thought of Christopher Waltz in the movie Django, where he says, "And now to you, my poor devils. And now to you, my poor devils. Why can't you function in the Amazon?" Oh, yeah, it's not that easy, right? There is wild animals. There is nature. You have to man up. Or you die. Okay, but then why can't you function in Alaska and the Yukon? Ah, right, because of the bears and the cold winter. Yeah, and you need to make firewood and you need to know how to make a house. All right, then come back to society. Oh, why don't you function? Ah, okay, you are impaired for some reason. You have a physical problem, you have a mental problem, or you have been victimized. Somebody did something to you. Ah, you did not get good enough parenting. Okay, you are a victim, I understand. Ah, these people betrayed you. Okay, they betrayed you because you're so grandiose and they envied you. I understand. So you need a savior. Okay, I understand. You're a victim, so you need a savior. And then you become a savior because you don't function anymore, and then you learn from this how to save other people. Yeah, it makes sense. Okay. No. Well, why do people not function? Because they will say because they are a victim. They have been oppressed and whatever, betrayed, persecuted, and that is something terrible that happens in reality. There is people who are oppressed. May it be sexual violence, may it be racistic violence, may it be um, violence against children, may it be anything. That's real. There are real victims and they deserve support. I want to pay taxes for people who are in need and I want to push them through. But I don't want to support professional victims. I might even do this if they admit what they are, professional victims, and they are not elevated or equal, put equal to the people who work, function, bring children into this world willingly. Yes, I want all my children. Yes, I raise all my children. Yes, I work in society. Yes, I function in social structures. Yes, I pay taxes. Yes, I function. I don't complain. But I don't want to be put in the same place as professional victims that say I can't function anymore because I'm a victim and because of some strange developments in society. I'm equal or even these people are equal or even raised above functioning people. This should never happen. So, individuation means to function, either in nature or in society. And I'm not talking about measurable functioning or observable functioning, even. I talk about the attempt, the motivation, the the honest motivation to try to be part of that and not become a competing victim, a person that is completely comfortable, has reached the final destination of victim identity. And if this has happened, then these people cannot be put in the same position of the functioning parts of society. They need to be thankful for being supported for the rest of their lives by the core of society that will always be fertile persons. I need to say it now. Straight, fertile, potent people who simply function and consume less than they generate. This is the core of society. This is who brings to the table what those in need consume. This is who brings children on this earth and are able to parent. Okay? But there are people who are professional victims that can't function anymore for whatever reasons, and they are living in a fantasy of grandiosity and omnipotence. While when you make a reality check, they are completely infertile of generating anything. They didn't even want their own children. They can parent their own children without support of others. And they are complete professional victims that live in a grandiose fantasy of being equal or even above the functioning core of society. Think about that. And think about that the only way out of this game of victim, savior, villain is individuation. Reject all these roles, right? And yes, you can also go into the forest, purchase a spiritual product, go into a very hot tent with hot stones on the ground, and you can go fastening and drumming there like crazy, and then you get some visions, and then you sit down in the next tent, and then comes the shaman and tells you, oh, you sit on the west side. This means that this deity is guiding you on your vision quest, and you go in stumbling naked through the forest on your vision quest, and then you find your archetype, and you can do that. If that is a quick fix for you, you have purchased another grandiose fantasy. That's fine. But if you want to individuate, you don't need to go into the forest and drum and go drumming and doing this and that. No, you need to function in society. And I mean, try to contribute to it. Yes, so it's very hard to support the real victims that we want to support and distinguish them from competitive victims, competitive victimhood, those who steal the support of real victims. That's a problem and a great challenge for today's society, to discern real victims from competitive victimhood mentality, support the right people, and don't raise professional victims or even put professional victims into an equality to those who function, because they will then not want to function anymore, or they will get frustrated even though they are still functioning, because they can face frustration without becoming victims and adopt victimhood mentality. But we need to address this in society. So, that being said, individuation is the only way. Facing reality in nature, survive alone in nature, if you can do this, or with some tribe, okay. Welcome. Welcome to reality. Or function in the man-made world. And I mean, honestly try to. Put all you have into this. Or you are a parasite. You have given up. And even that is acceptable. My eye looks very weird. Even that is acceptable. It's acceptable that people give up. But then please be thankful for those who support you and a society that carries you through. For I love to do this. You want to see the octopus again? He's not a poor devil. He's clever.